Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a devastating house fire in one eastern Kentucky county leaves one woman dead. And state lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agree to send financial help to people in western Kentucky.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 5:34 on Thursday, January 13th. Let's go back over and check in with Brandon on a crazy morning.
Yes, indeed.
It's just all up in the air.
Literally up in the air, no pun intended. But right now, still calm, still quiet for now. This weekend is where it gets a little bit active. Let's take a look and see what's going on temperature-wise right now, and we hope to have more information about that weekend system for you a little later today. But temperatures, 20s in Jonesville and Harlan, 30s across most of the region, and 40s in Prestonsburg, Jackson, Hazard, and Monticello this morning. Temperatures kind of a little warmer than this time yesterday. 21 degrees warmer than this time yesterday in Monticello, 11 degrees in Williamsburg, 13 degrees in Somerset, and close to double digits in other locations. Ashland, exactly where they were this time yesterday. Breakfast forecast, get out your frosted weather wheats in your bowls. Temperatures will slowly go up as we head deeper into the morning. And then as we head deeper into the afternoon, somebody could hit 50, even without some sunshine. That's the forecast high today. Some scattered chances for rain around later this evening, thanks to a weak disturbance. Sunrise 7:48, sunset 5:37. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, Kentucky State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting. It happened around 10 p.m. Tuesday night in Corbin. Troopers say they were trying to conduct a traffic stop when the car sped off. Police say that suspect drove into a nearby parking lot, hid behind an apartment building, and began shooting at police. A trooper fired back and hit the suspect. The suspect was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The trooper is on administrative leave. A Wayne County man is accused of firing 2 weapons and threatening law enforcement officers. The sheriff's office says they responded to a shots fired call. They say when they announced themselves at the door, James Bell threatened to shoot them. After a brief standoff, authorities were able to talk Bell out of the home. Deputies found several guns and shell casings inside the home. 2 homes nearby were also hit by gunfire. Bell is facing wanton endangerment and terroristic threatening charges. A fire in Pike County leaves a family mourning their loved one and a community talking about a woman who was always ready to give back. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from the smoke-filled scene in Phelps.
I got a call saying it was on fire and they couldn't get in.
An overnight fire in the Phelps community.
They couldn't get the lady out, they couldn't get the door open. And so I jumped up and went out the door and got me a sledgehammer and put it in my truck to come down, and it's going to knock the door down and get her out. But when I got here, flames was really high.
Leaving the loved ones of 65-year-old Teresa Fields in shock.
It was really tough to realize that you couldn't help somebody and somebody was in there in that huge flame.
First responders got the call just after midnight Wednesday, responding to a scene where the flames were burning high and the time had run out.
Anytime responding to a call like this, it's a very emotional time for the community, we understand. It's also an emotional time for the investigators and the fire departments that responded there. These types of calls tend to stick with you for a long time.
And though the tragedy of her death is a heavy weight,
sad tragedy in the human life.
It is her life that is being discussed as the smoke clears.
And she with anybody come by, she'd try to be of an aid to them and help them.
A woman who will forever be remembered.
For those that was around her, she was a very treasure to them, and it will be a great loss to our community.
As a neighbor to all. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but Trooper Michael Coleman says no foul play is expected. He says this is a grim reminder to check on your heat sources as the winter weather continues in the mountains. And the devastation in Mayfield and Bowling Green, along with several other areas, was unbelievable. In total, 77 people were killed, and the cost of all the damage is still being assessed. Hundreds of people are still without shelter as well. The Kentucky House of Representatives passed a bill providing relief yesterday. Legislators on both sides of the aisle said Western Kentuckians need immediate financial help.
It will take years to fully recover and require further action by this body, but rebuild we will.
Some members of the House emphasized the need for continued funding of mental health services following the disaster. During last week's winter storm, Hope Center officials say they were able to help more than 150 people thanks to a new warming shelter. They say this allows them to be mindful of safety from the pandemic, while also providing more warm spaces for people during a time when it's needed most. Because of pandemic restrictions, they're only able to usually help around 100 people within their main campus. But thanks to this new warming shelter, they're able to expand that to help 50 more.
We also have some trailers set up, as well as some spaces that we consider our quarantine area when someone is either exposed or tests positive for COVID, that we're able to manage that and mitigate the spread.
And thanks to the on-site Jacob's Hope Kitchen, the center can make sure everyone is fed as well. 2 Pike County natives are heading to the New England area a bit later this year to take part in one of the biggest marathons in the world. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from Joel Thornberry and BJ Fuller, who are running for an important cause at the 2022 Boston Marathon.
In 2020, Joel Thornberry secured his spot as a charity runner with Team Red Cross in the Boston Marathon. Shortly after, the race was canceled, leading him to run the 26.2-mile marathon virtually throughout the city of Pikeville.
COVID has just changed a lot of our lives, for sure. As a healthcare professional and as a runner, a marathoner, we've had to make some adjustments.
Thornberry helped another Pike County native secure his spot in the 2022 Boston Marathon with Team Red Cross, and both get to run through the streets of Boston together.
The Boston Marathon is the Super Bowl of running. This is the equivalent for a runner of actually getting to go play in the Super Bowl. So the oldest and most prestigious race in the world, and it really means a lot to just be a small part of it.
Thornberry was tasked with raising $10,000 for the Red Cross in 2020 before the race was canceled. Now, Fuller faces the same objective.
The Red Cross is really the goal and the charity that we're supporting, and that's where all the monies go to.
Running with a purpose.
It's really a sobering feeling because of the good work that they do, because of all of the things that they have done across the country, and being able to be a part of that and being able to help contribute really means a lot.
And contributing to something much bigger than themselves. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
You can help and donate to the Red Cross by visiting his Give and Gain link. You can find that link on our website. And one group in Martin County plans to take a piece of history and make it a platform for humor. The historic Martin County Courthouse has been an ongoing restoration project as the Tourism Board works to make it into a venue for the people of Inez and the surrounding areas. And part of that new plan kicks off later this month with a recently announced Comedy at the Courthouse, hoping to bring some laughs to downtown scene.
So we're really excited to see that space restored. That's a project that we're working to get some more funding for, but we're hoping to host events like this upcoming comedy show to help show that it's a viable space and that it's an asset in our community that we want to see preserved for the future.
The first event is planned for January 29th at 7 p.m. with Martin County native Joey Stepp opening the show. Christopher Izzy is the feature act and Jake Hovis will headline. Tickets are $10 and will be sold at the door. Just ahead this morning, a pair of entertainers celebrate their engagement in an unusual way.
A weak disturbance will bring us some scattered precipitation chances tonight, but the deeper into the weekend we get, those chances will pick up, and we're monitoring a potential winter storm by the end of the weekend. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.